Today is a very special day where we can acknowledge all of our club volunteers. There are many of you that need to be thanked. And I'm glad that all of you have shown good wisdom to come and support me on my last day. Thank you. To have been given this chance to be president of such a welcoming, vibrant, and engaged club. It's because of all of you that the club functions. First and foremost, I want to thank all of you for placing trust and confidence in me. I'm forever grateful to many of you for all your kind support, guidance, and generous portions of wisdom that's always readily doled out during Rotary meetings. One time sitting with Chet Woodman at a Rotary meeting is equivalent, I believe, to a 3-semester art course at the university. Thank you, Chet. So while my farewell speech was already done last week, I focus today on special thank yous to all of our club volunteers. They run this club. If I don't mention you by name, I'm sorry, it's just an inadvertent error on my part. But I would like you still to be recognized. So if I miss you, just stand up, holler, and say you missed me, okay? So, I did actually need to go through this really quickly though. We'll run out of time, I know that. I have to thank my family. Ramji couldn't make it. And then he didn't want to come actually. So here's Ramji, Vasu, and Uma. Thank you. I have a very loving family, although Rotary family is special for Thursdays. Bobby, Houselog, are you here in the room yet? Okay, I will wait to thank Bobby. But we do need to thank Bobby as well as all the staff that make every Thursday very special for us as we have our meals and get-togethers here. So I wanted to mention all the flowers that you see in this PowerPoint slide were photographs taken by my daughter Uma during her journeys with us on a family vacation in Peru in June. And I thought it would be wonderful to use those flowers from a faraway land to talk about why Rotary is meaningful in so many locations around the world, as well as in Iowa City. So first of all, to critical people who've been really the reason why I am in Rotary and why I became president. Nancy Quellhorst and Tom Seelig invited me to Rotary in 2003. So each of you, remember, you need to invite somebody into Rotary and ask them whether they might be interested in joining. Bernie Kremers, where are you? I promised I would give you a shout out because you were traveling. Hey, Bernie. Bernie was the one who asked whether I would like to serve on the club's board, and that was in 2012. And then Jody Braverman, who couldn't be here today, he's up in Minnesota right now. Jody sent me a heartfelt message this morning, which made me almost cry, but he asked me to join and consider being president in 2014. Okay, somebody here recognizes this handicraft. Who is it? Can you identify yourself? It's a signed, autographed thing. Mark Priest, where are you? So Mark actually drew this design for me on our first Rotary social. And I had him autograph it because I thought it was so pretty. And he turns out to also be a pastor. So I was looking for God's influence in my life. And Mark, you did it. Thank you. So there are tons of gratitude that I owe to all past, current, and future volunteers in our club. Thank you so much, not only for your kind words, for your generous spirit, for your musical talents. To me, but more importantly, to our club and to our Rotary organization. So, first, dues really are for our board of directors, who I'd like to acknowledge, and I don't know why this is done to me. It just speeds up the slides. So Mike McKay will be our new president. If the board members can just rise when they're recognized. Mike McKay, Steve Quigley, who's our president-elect, Neil Quellhorst, our treasurer. I don't see Neil here yet. Anna Moyer-Stone. Anna, you here? Sean McIntyre, I know you're here. Jim Connard, who's also doubling up as our pianist. And I want to do a special shout out and thanks to outgoing members. Margaret Reese, are you here? I thought I saw you. Margaret, this has to be a warm applause for you. You've just done so much for our club, not only as board secretary, but also managing the joint service club's luncheon, being an advisor to me, telling me, hey, this is how you take a vote. It's wonderful. It's just been awesome having you on the board, and we'll miss you. And Thijs Winkelbleck, of course, our past president. So past presidents get to serve on the board for one more year. Thijs actually is actively chairing our club administration committee. So I can't say bye-bye yet. Thank you, Thijs. Could we have a warm round of applause for the board members? And I'd also like to acknowledge the incoming board members, Barbara Thomas. Barbara, I know you're here. Okay, Eric Weiler. Please stand up. Brenda LaMarche. And they are just super active members. I know that they're just going to change the face of Rotary. Barbara has already accomplished that by being our board secretary help for the last 6 months as Margaret had to transition. So thank you so much. Okay, so the board actually automatically has ex officio non-voting members in past district governors who have served from our club. And you know all these people. I mean, they are like super active even now. There was a reason they became district governors. Herb Wilson, would you please rise? Ray Mustin, and I did not see Gary Pesha today. He might be traveling. Without Herb Wilson, Ray Mustin, and Gary Pesha, I would not have had the gumption to take in this presidency year. So thank you very, very much. I also need to say a special thank you to past district governors from other clubs who have been kind of like, prodding for wisdom now and then. Sorry, guys and gals, John Aukenfels, who was District 6000 District Governor, Jackie Andrew, who's not here, but she's on the Radford Clubfoot Board, Jill Olson, who is here, and to our current District Governor, Chris Knapp, and also District Governor-elect Mike Ruby. So I've actually presented this last week, so I'll go at it really, really quickly. Annual road trip to Rotary headquarters. John Lee is not able to be here. Cindy Kreider, are you here in the room? John Lee and Cindy Kreider managed it very well. And most importantly, the Ryla alums. And this is where I want Matt Kelly, Andrew Nameni, come up. And Casey, can you also come up? And Hannah Bertram, could you also join us? So Hannah is here because I heard her being felicitated, come on, at the Rotary Club of Cedar Rapids on Monday. And Jill Olson had introduced me to Mary Lee Fowler in Cedar Rapids. And Mary Lee comes and says, you must go and have Hannah attend your Rotary Club meeting. I said, who is Hannah? Well, turns out Hannah founded a new Interact Club at Jefferson High in Cedar Rapids. Congratulations. And she's going to be joining the University of Iowa this fall, majoring in public health. I said, you've got to learn about the Rag for Clubfoot project. Please come on Thursday. And that's why she came. Little did I know, when I called Matt Kelly, who's now a Rotarian in our club, that Matt Kelly as well as Hira Mustafa both know Hannah already because they're in the Ryla network. So much like we know each other as Rotarians, the Rylarians already know each other. So Matt Kelly is here to do the recruitment job on our behalf so that Hannah is assured to be coming to our club more often. Thank you all for coming. And Andrew was on our bus trip, and so was Casey. Thank you so much. And Casey, stay there. Hannah, it was great to meet you and your mom, Angie. It was wonderful. Okay, so the second one, Rotary Bike Racks, we've told you all about it. But Casey has some new news other than the bike racks, really much more exciting. Quick, half a minute.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to announce that my wife and I had our first child 4 weeks ago, Mila Rose. And she's happy and healthy, so that's it.
Okay, the crazy timing is that Casey needed to send the district completion report before the baby came. I love Mila. So Casey was introduced and sponsored into our club by our president nominee, Steve Quigley. So Steve, could you come up for a second? And also Ray Mustin, could you please come up for a second? We'll make this really, really quick. So Ray Mustin gifted us with something last week that will be gifted to Casey Kidwell.
If you're over 75 years old, you know Dick Buxton was a member of this club many years ago, and the Buxton family wanted to contribute a framed version of the 4-weight test and give it to a very special Rotarian. And I decided that it ought to go to Casey, because we want you to take it with you, hang it on your office wall, and remember all your friends in Rotary in Iowa City. And we're going to watch after the bike racks.
So Steve, thank you for bringing somebody active and energetic like Casey into our club, for Ray for counseling Casey, and a whole bunch of you who worked on the Bike Racks project. So Rotarian Supporting Women Committee, you've heard a lot about them as well, but I do need to recognize the co-chairs, LaShonda Kennedy, are you here? LaShonda and Christina Kimmerly. This is the last time you're going to get to take a bow, so you better. So Christina Kimmerly also worked with Mark Rugeberg to design a very fantastic pet kennels at DVIP project. So thank you so much, both to LaShonda and Christina. So all the past presidents who helped me with the inductions, could you just at least stand? Seriously, several of you, it was fantastic to have your help. Thank you so much. And to the 6 female past presidents who spoke so eloquently on May 25th. Nancy, you get to stand too, although you were not at the May 25th. Are they all here? Thais, Nancy, Oh, Anne, Linda, they were just fabulous. I don't know how you managed this club when it wasn't 26% women. Okay, now for the thank yous. This is serious. So this is the slide which runs our club every single week. If you don't know these people on the slide, please know them, because you will meet them somehow when you're either being greeted, you're being contacted for goat riding scheduling, a whole bunch of things. I'm going to read out each name really quickly. Tom Silic, I know he's not here, but Tom, thank you so much for working with me on the programs. Bob Crane and Jim Conard, they're always here. Lovely voice, great pianist. Ryan Bell, what can I say? Thanks. Sean Reinecke is not here. Sean McIntyre, who does many things, including membership chair, a whole bunch of things. You have like so many roles for us. Casey Kidwell and Riley Larson worked on the PowerPoint slides. Karen Hughes, thank you for putting together all the news stories every week on the clipboard. Nancy Droll for attendance. Mike Schmitz, who's not here, he's our web administrator. Oh, Mike, you are here. Yeah, usually he's invisible to most of us. I mean, but the work gets done. And Mike, I have to say, the more invisible part of you is Lara Marsh, who also does a lot of work for our club. And everybody who subbed for any of these roles on a weekly basis, when people were gone, could you please just rise and take a bow? Arlie Clemens, Mike McKay, John Brown, Janice Baldus, Maggie Mowry, Doris Prussell, Aaron Schaefer, Devin Van Holstein, Travis Brockett, Kristen Reynolds, Ann Parker, Sarah Richardson, Richard Campana, I know you're here because you're taking notes today on behalf of Sean, Joe Hughes, and John Kenyon. Thank you so much. Okay, anybody who spoke at our club, can you please stand as a part of our program? Because I did want to tap Rotarians. Okay, Reeves, there are many of you who did that, and I really, really thank you, because knowing Rotarians personally through their stories is as important as knowing them simply by name or affiliation with an organization. David God, thank you always for bringing yummy ice cream. Bill O'Lean, are you here? He's hiding over here. Oh, Bill, oh. I mean, the only, I would say Bill makes me laugh and cry at the same time, because I want to be like Bill if I live to 92, 93? 93. And particular thanks to Joe Wentz and Asata Caldwell. Are you here? Both of you. Joe Wentz, you are here. Why are you not standing? Come on. Thank you so much. And then all the Rotarians and non-Rotarians who contributed to Rotary Moments, Poetry at Rotary, Tita Kaufman and Horacio for singing for us in Spanish, and really Steve West, Doris Prussell. Just keep adding your sweet music into our community, whether it's Rotary or elsewhere. You guys are terrific. So there were 10 special events, and if there are any event hosts or sponsors in the room, could you please rise and take a bow? If you don't, I will start calling names. Thank you, John. LaDonna, thank you. So there were Reeves. You were a host. You hosted. Yeah, thank you. So thank you so much to all of you. Donors and contributors, could we recognize the foundation committee? I know the chairs are Warren Folkman and Aaron Schaefer. Could the entire committee please rise? Because you were just excellent and active, and even invited people from the Rotary Foundation office to come and talk to us. Thank you very much. Okay, now this is a list that I have to read through, and I'll make it very quick. So all of you know who are the committee chairs. I've already mentioned several. Nancy Droll, Attendance Committee, Ryan Bell, Sergeant at Arms. Would you all kindly stand up? Because we need to know that we are an engaged club. Tom Silic, Program Chair, Scott Fisher, Bylaws Chair, John Gross, Camp Cardinal Trust Chair, Tice Winkelblack and Mike McKay manage the club admin and committee admin roles. Dictionaries, Art Novak. Environmental concerns, Mel Schlachter. Financial audit, Jim Conard. Friendship exchange, David Gott. Annual, Ronald McDonald. House golf tournament, Brad Baldus. Bruce Kaut. Greeters coordinator, Sean McIntyre. Asada Caldwell. Alina Osinskaya. I Can Read Songs Literacy Project, LaDonna Vicklin. Iowa Most, Deb Dunkes, who's in the Iowa City AM Club, and Bill Olin. Local Service Grants Committee Chair, Pete Wallace. Public Relations, John Kenyon and Sarah Sedlacek. Members in the news, Karen Hughes. Music, Bob Crane and Jim Conard. New member, Processing and Classification, Sean McIntyre, Dave Siebert. New member committee, Sherry McKay, Dottie Maher, and I know Susan Brennan co-chaired it also. New member orientation, which is a monthly meeting, Ann Parker. Weekly newsletters and bulletins, Sean Reinecke. And I mentioned other names as well. Outbound scholarships, Jean Wandling, I know you're here. Mitch Meese. Annual road trip, John Lee, Cindy Kreider. Rotary flags and banners, Ann Parker, John Culshaw. Rotary Foundation Giving, Vern Folkman, Aaron Schaefer. Salvation Army, Joe Hughes, Tricia Smith. Website Administrator, Mike Schmitz. Rotarian Supporting Women, LaShonda Kennedy, Christina Kimmerly. International Service Learning in Hicotepec, Chris Catney. Youth Exchange, Mary Ellen Lewis. Youth Leadership Committee, Ryla and World Affairs Seminar, Linda Farkas and Aaron Schaefer. Global Grants Committee, Demi Dureska and World Community Service, Tita Kaufman. Give them a round of applause. And if you think only committee chairs do all the work, you may be mistaken. Can committee members please rise as a whole group? If you have served on any committee, can you please rise and take a bow? Could the co-chairs and chairs also rise? So anybody who says our club is not engaged enough, please rethink. Okay, so those were all the thanks that I had. And I'd love to thank with the Smile song. For one last time, Bob Crane and Jim Conard, can you please do the Smile song?
Well, we will try, but we want vigorous singing here. So here we go. James on the keyboard.
Smile and the world smiles with you. Sing a song. Don't be weary, just be cheery all day long. Whenever your trials, your troubles, and your cares seem to be more than you can really bear, smile and the world smiles with you. Sing a song. Thank you, Bob and Jim.
Most welcome.
Okay, now we move on to an extremely special recognition, which is going to be immensely inspirational to all of you. And I need some help for this. Could I have Past District Governor John Ockenfels and past District Governor Jill Olson come up to the podium as co-chairs of RAG for Clubfoot, which a lot of you know who founded it, was Herb Wilson. And when Herb Wilson told me last week that he shook hands with Bill Gates at the Rotary convention, that was so special. Seriously. I mean, the Rotary Foundation and Rotary organization obviously has a very, very special relationship with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation because they match, I think, 2-1 for polio eradication around the world. And for our club member, Herb Wilson, to have actually shook hands with Bill Gates, great. I'll just shake yours, Herb. So as you all know, there is another very special Rotarian amongst us. His words inspire me. I'm also lucky to have him as a neighbor who can knock on the door and talk to me about the Ponzity Clubfoot project any day. He has also greatly influenced the trajectory for my own daughter, Uma, in large part because of Uma's involvement with Rotract and her interest in the Ponzity project. She was recognized not only for academic excellence, but also for social consciousness during her graduation celebration in the Honors College of the University of Pittsburgh this spring. Thank you, John Buchanan, first and foremost, for your influential presence in my life and that of my own family. Rotarian John Buchanan has worked tirelessly for nearly a decade to introduce the story of the Ponzetti method into our Iowa City Noon Rotary Club. This is the room in which I first heard that story, but I did not thoroughly understand the significance at that time, about 10 years ago. In 2009, I used the Ponzetti method story as a mini case study within my paper for the Global Forum for Health Research in Geneva. A partnership between Rotarians and the Ponzetti International Association was formulated more recently in 2015 by Herb Wilson. The project has now blossomed across dozens and dozens of Rotary clubs. This year, John and Ellen Buchanan announced a fantastic match challenge to encourage greater levels of support from Rotarians. Even as I retire from my club presidency year, John, I look forward to being involved in a noble cause such as RAG for Clubfoot. And I promise you, Herb, that I will remain involved. And I wanted to take this last day of my presidency year as a momentous occasion to express immense thanks and gratitude to our club Rotarian, John Buchanan, and to his darling wife, Ellen. If I connect with John because of the Ponzetti method, I connect with Ellen because of our deeply shared interest in poetry. A humanitarian poet. I love both of you, okay? I would now like John Aukenfels and Jill Olson to do the special recognition on our behalf.
Thank you. We've been asked to do a couple things that we really are looking forward to and that we enjoy. Jill's going to hide here for a moment and then she's going to come up. First off, I would like to have everybody that has served with the RAG for Clubfoot in any capacity, especially board members, past or present, please stand. It really is, I think you're going to be surprised. I know we have two people sitting here. John, you can do this. Yeah, okay. This is hard. Yes. So, thank you. I appreciate that. We have many people that have served on the board, and the beauty of this program is that it is not just this club or this district or even the state of Iowa. It has truly gone throughout the United States and around the world. When we were in Atlanta, we had a booth. Many of you stopped by to help us pass information. It was appreciated. John's generosity in what he's doing with Iowa's Gift to the World has made it to a number of other districts. And we have been told on several occasions about people wanting to find out how they can do this. Of course, we told them this is an Iowa thing, but we'll help you start your own. So, in order to get the program around Iowa, we have a committee on the board. And we have Patty Roberts, and we have Teresa. Where's Teresa Hayden? There we go. We have Teresa Schaefer. And they go out now and they make this presentation to other clubs around the state, and it's growing. So that's the important part about all this. I want you to understand that due to John's generosity and the word that he put out around Iowa, it is spreading around the country and around the world, and it truly is becoming a global event. With that, I'm going to pass over to Jill for a few comments.
Thank you, John, and hello. We don't have Gone with the Wind for you today, but we do have a premiere promo that we'd like you to see. No one has seen this before. While he's looking for it, Jennifer Jones, who's been vice president of Rotary International for this past year, was at PET's presidential training at Iowa State, and so we asked her if she would do this promo. So we really feel honored that she could do it for us, and she did it just like that for us. So hopefully it'll run this time.
I'm really excited to be able to talk with you today about Rag for Clubfoot, an organization that joins Rotary clubs together with vocational training teams. Because every 3 minutes, a child is born with a foot deformity, something that is going to affect them throughout their whole life unless it's treated. You know, the goal of this is to try and get 4,000 doctors over the next 10 years to be able to help these children and correct this deformity. So, if you want to join leaders, exchange ideas, and take action, Rag for Clubfoot is where you want to be.
I'd like to introduce our treasurer, Phil Peterson, who is going to make a few comments.
Thank you very much. I think one of my great pleasures as treasurer is it's a fair amount of work, but the most important thing is you get to see the generosity of Rotarians across the world for various endeavors. And the one we're talking about is Clubfoot. And it's, as you know, relatively new to the Rotary portfolio of services. And as such, it's important to have generous donors who help you get started at a time when you don't have a track record to show. And we're fortunate we've had some of those. Some of those are sitting here, and we're here to, I'm here to recognize one of those, and a step donor. And his name is Ralph Smith. And if he'll join me up front, I appreciate it. And he is the district governor-elect of 5970, and he's got 2 days, so he has to, I'm sure he has to run immediately to get his last 48-hour cram in to prepare for that. So thank you very much.
I didn't expect that. Very nice. Thank you.
Our next one, we're going to step right up here, keep this moving along. John, would you please join us? And both of you. This challenge that John...
Where? Over? Okay.
Yeah, you got it there? Okay. Okay. This challenge that John and Ellen put forth was kind of out of the blue. But when it got some traction, it started going. We've got some funding coming in. We're already up around $40,000 of donations. Okay? Now, John has told us he's going to match this 2-to-1. No, that's not true. Not Bill Gates. John's going to match it dollar for dollar. And the reality of it is that is very helpful, because it really does, this money will be used and it'll be eligible for another match of 50 cents on the dollar from the Rotary Foundation. So this really is a tremendous thing. The leverage is there, it's starting to move, people are getting excited. So we wanted to recognize the fact that the Rotary has recognized, the world has recognized the Ponseti method as the gold standard of the world. We want to recognize John as the gold standard of Rag for Clubfoot with the Gold Standard Award. Now, we told you, remember this one? Okay, you do this one.
So, John, we thought, and we wanted to do something more than a plaque for you today. And John has matched up to $125,000 for Iowa Rotarians called Iowa's Gift to the World. So Wisconsin can't donate to this. This is just Iowa. So we thought, and we spared no expense for this, John. This is the brace that the children wear until the age of 4. But John, we're giving you a brace with only one shoe because next year when we come back, we will have raised the $125,000 you have asked us to raise, and we will present you with the other shoe. So we're waiting for the shoe to drop. So thank you so much, John.
Congratulations.
Yeah, wow. Oh.
John, I haven't reserved time for you to speak today, but I know you had one little announcement to make for the Mandela Scholars.
Yeah.
If you can do that.
I will do it.
Thank
very
you so
quickly.
much.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, John, Jill. Thank you, everybody, for this very, very lovely plaque honor. And yes, most of all, thanks to Dr. Jose Merquende, Tom Cook, and others, and Herb Wilson, all the others of you who have been incredible supporters of the Dr. Ponseti and the Clubfoot Project. Innumerable hours, and I could go on, and I don't want to because, in effect, there was another thing today that's on the tables that from last week I wanted to complete. The Mandela Fellows are here. I misquoted last week. There are 1,000 that are picked under the USAID, United States Agency or for grant, and there were 61,300 and some applications, and there was 1,000 picked, 25 of whom are here this year. They're spread over 40 colleges. And last week I didn't have a chance to have things, people came up afterwards and said, well, where are they from? Nigeria and so on. So today there is a short bio on almost, hopefully, every table. And to make it simple, we're going to put something in our website that will allow you, if you see a country, an individual, there's a short bio on each of these people. They are incredible. They will be here on July 20th as a group. But in the meantime, I think many people have come up to me and said, we'd like to have them, 1 or more or 3 or 4, come to our home. We have some relationship maybe into where they're from, whether it's Nigeria or wherever it might be. What I want to do is I want to send a letter to each Rotary Club in Africa. There's only one of them that is a Rotarian. I want to make all 25 of them Rotarians in their home countries. I want us to send a letter to each of the Rotary clubs in their home communities and ask them if they will not invite them when they go back in August and speak before those Rotary clubs. Viva la Rotary.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, John, and to you, John and Jill as well. And really our club Rotarians, Teresa Schaefer, as well as Patty Roberts, who have done so many of the outreach presentations, along with Tamika Pearson and Tom Cook. Okay, so I'm pretty much done here on the podium. The last thing remaining between me and the gavel transfer to our new president are Tim Walsh and John Culshaw, don't make it mean. You can come up here. Tim Walsh used to be the director of the Hoover Presidential Library, and we were talking about presidential history making, and that's how this discussion came about. Thank you.
You have to be careful when you have conversations with Usha. We all know that. Okay, we're going to keep this brief, folks. As professional custodians of presidential legacies, John and I have been asked to assess the presidency of Usha Balakrishnan. So today we toast, not roast, this exceptional president. Our apologies to those of you who are here to have fun, or hear us have fun at Usha's expense. How could we joke about such a lovable person? Come on, Mrs. Culshaw and Mrs. Walsh didn't raise no dummies. We love Usha. For most of us, Usha has been a force of nature. In fact, for most of us, we only need to say, Usha, to know who we're talking about. There is only one Usha. She's our Cher, our Madonna, our Donald. Well, maybe not our Donald.
So all of this started because of Usha's interest in a concept called the third place. And you might remember that I presented on this topic at Usha's first meeting last summer. How could you forget? Usha reminds us regularly of her vision of making Rotary a favored third place. So with apologies to Ray Oldenburg, I propose that we create a new place. Let's call it the fourth place, or just the Usha place. The Usha place is characterized by her enthusiasm and infectious laughter. She welcomes, or coerces, new people to join in. The fourth place encourages creativity and innovation, as well as participation by all. We meet at the fourth place weekly for lunch, a buffet lunch. But with Usha as our president, I still don't understand why we haven't had a good Indian buffet lunch. It seems that the complex flavor and spice of garam masala would only enhance the fourth place. So maybe Usha's new task as past president can be to find us a nice Indian restaurant to meet when the university club closes. Usha's personal leadership style has been an inspiration to us all. As we prepare for our presidential transition, we can be certain that Usha's fourth place will continue at Rotary and around the community for years to come.
To toast Usha, we called on fellow Rotarians who've worked with her over the past year, and we're going to share those comments with her. But John, you want to add a note? We actually had a longer presentation.
Yeah, we called on past presidents, living and dead, to comment on presidential styles. But you'll notice that we've been editing our remarks since the earlier part of the meeting took so long today. But let's start with some of the observations from Usha's colleagues in the Rotary leadership community. This is what Jill Olson had to say. From whenever I visited the Noon Club, Usha always made it a point to come and talk to me and make me feel welcome. I came to think of it as one of the hallmarks of your Rotary Club, sort of the perpetual greeter. Over the years, I've had the opportunities to work with this absolute dynamo of energy and positive and creative thinking. One of the most remarkable instances was to work with her with the Mandela Scholars this last summer. It began with an idea to observe Nelson Mandela's birthday at the club with the Mandela Scholars. The projects with her compadre John Buchanan got Usha-ized and grew to include a past Rotary International president, a plan to connect and expand Rotary connections in Africa, and the whole program being extended to 2017 at the UI. Usha is the most outstanding embodiment of energy, emotional, Rotary, and spiritual can-do of anyone I have known. Thank you to an amazing, amazing woman. It's an honor to call her friend.
This came from Herb Wilson. Well, what can we say about Usha? Her enthusiasm and energy is perhaps her greatest asset, and it is very effective. There is never a dull moment with Usha. She has dedicated much time to prepare herself each and every week. She has also selected a number of activities for programs and has brought new ideas before our Rotary Club. Her emphasis on the younger Rotarians and Interact, Rotaract, and RILA, and the bus trip to Evanston with youth was super. Never a dull moment with Usha. She'll be a tough act to follow.
And another view came from Jackie Andrew. To engage Usha in a project is to set free a whirlwind of vision, enthusiasm, advocacy, and deep passion with confidence that it will get done. Thank you, Usha, for your commitment to Rotaract and to sharing Rotary strategically with students and a decidedly younger demographic. When she sat down next to me as I was visiting the Rotary Club of Iowa City, she changed my life by setting in motion a great friendship and Rotary collaboration, a very special day indeed. She truly exemplifies the Rotary 2013-14 theme, Engage Rotary, Change Lives.
And here is what Nancy Quellhorse had to say. Author Deepak Chopra said, quote, "When you live your life with an appreciation of coincidences and their meanings, you connect with the underlying field of infinite possibilities. This is when the magic begins." That magic is the essence of Usha Balakrishan. Her positive energy attracts people in fascinating ways, and Usha has a unique ability to connect and coalesce people to enjoy each other and accomplish good things.
Jody Braverman says, Usha's everywhere extolling the virtues of Rotary. I've gone halfway around the world and still found Usha Balakrishnan proclaiming the benefits of Iowa City Noon Rotary. I attended a meeting of Rotary Club in Madras, in Chennai, India in February. There was Usha at our Rotary Sister Club. She's such a great Rotary booster. You're not giving us the...
I am still president, my friends. And it's 1 o'clock. So I still need to do gavel transfer. So you get just 1 more second and that's it.
She's editing us even after we've edited. And we cut out Abraham Lincoln, for God's sakes. Okay, we ought to go right to the. So we invite you all to stand and lift a glass as we toast Usha Balakrishan, our once and former president, before she passes that stupid-ass gavel.
To Usha.
To Usha. All right. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much, Tim and John, for doing that. So you've already read this poetry, but I'm dedicating it to Jody and Janie Braverman, who would have been here if they could have been here. So now is the gavel transfer to our new club president. Along with this gavel, Mike, I give you Alan Dakin's presidential chain. And I think the gavel transfer just means I just give the gavel to you.
So it means I get the dumbass gavel, eh?
And may I have Sherry Mackey come here as well to the podium. She's our new First Lady. And our board has some flowers to present to Sherry. And I wish you and Sherry all the very best for a terrific new presidency year. And it's all yours. And you'll be leading us in the recitation of the four-way test too, Mike.
Well, I didn't expect to get a dumbass gavel, but it's a gavel. No, not in the back. She's never.
That's when I was Rotary in. But I was in the back.
So anyway, people in the last week or so have been constantly saying, "Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?" You know, it's like going to war or something. No. Anyway, thanks to Rotary and this club, they prepared people for this position by providing a lot of really good training. And I think as I've gotten to see more of the clubs around the state, and then recently in Atlanta from around the world, this club is truly unique in so many ways. A lot of what the other clubs are striving for, we've already been doing for years. That just speaks to the leadership we've had, and saw several of those, or multiple people today, that have helped build this club into something really different, really special. And I'm not saying that to blow smoke. I really believe it. And it makes it easy to move into a new job like this, because the structure's there, the people are there, the ideas are there, and it's just kind of stay on the surfboard. So thank you very much. I got to run this thing now, right? We can get started. And everything we think, say, and do, is it the truth, fair to all concerned, would build better friendships, would be beneficial to all concerned. The meeting is adjourned.